Love makes me treat you the way that I do. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? There's nothing too good for a girl that's so true. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? Bought you a fur coat for Christmas, a diamond ring.
Hi folks, Dr. H here once again, and hoping I can clear up a few things before you begin the midterm. But if you've already started the midterm, no worries. Your class may not be in the midterm right now. For example, it's only music elements and music appreciation that are in midterm week right now. History of rock and roll, because we started later, we have a little bit later date for our midterm. However, what I'm about to discuss applies to all of the classes, so please pay attention. First, most of you have grasped this concept, but for those that have not, understand that there are two sides to this story. There's a e-learning side, or an e-learning side, and then there's a Connect for Education side. So there's our e-learning or D2L side, which is where we log on for our course, and you know, there's information there, there's a calendar there, I make announcements there, and there are discussion topics that are on e-learning. And then there's our online text. Now this applies to all of you. This applies to History of Rock, it applies to music appreciation, and it applies to music elements. So most of you, as I said, are grasping this, but we still have some folks that are having some difficulties understanding this concept, because I get emails like, where do I submit the written assignment, or how do I get in access to the assignments? So please understand, there are two, count them, two sides to this story: e-learning and Connect for Education. And we're going to describe or talk about this a little bit specifically towards the specific classes momentarily, but I just want to get that out of the way. So this applies to all of you, to everyone taking my courses. Let's also understand that some people are using cell phones to do the work over a laptop or a PC. And I realize that that might be because you have to. I get that. It could be either you don't own a PC, or you don't have access to one, or it could be your PC is on the fritz or your laptop's on the fritz. I get it, that those things happen, but be aware, a smaller screen like a cell phone is not going to give you the most advantageous view of the materials, either on e-learning or on our C4E online text. So it's the best thing you can do if you do not have access to a computer is to go to a library. Delta's library is open for use. The computer lab is open. Many community libraries, civic libraries, city libraries are open. Please make use of these facilities in order to thoroughly view your assignments. And if you have to type anything, it's extraordinarily difficult to type an answer on a phone. Now, if you're adept at that and you can do it and you haven't had any troubles, more power to you. Great, go for it. But if it's becoming more of a challenge, as it is for some of you, because again, I get emails asking, where's the submit button? And I suspect it's because you are not scrolling down far enough to find the submit button, because you're on a smaller screen, either on your phone, or perhaps you might be on an iPad. So get to a computer, get to a PC as quickly as you can. If you are having those types of technical issues. Also, there are some of you who have had some technical issues regarding our C4E site. In other words, you were not able to hear certain examples, or it could be you were not able to view certain videos. And in those instances, you need to get in touch with me as soon as possible so that I can alert the C4E OIT department, and they will get in touch with you. Those of you that have had some issues have already experienced that. They're pretty quick about getting back to students. Also, in my original link to you regarding the purchase of the textbook, there is a student access for help. There's a help desk. Don't be afraid to log on and go to the help desk. They can help you, and they will help you. And by help desk, I don't mean Delta's help desk. I mean C4E's help desk. Now, having said that, Delta also has a help desk, an OIT help desk. And you are welcome to call them if you are having PC issues or connectivity issues. Let's say you happen to be at Delta and you're having issues there, or some problem with your Delta account. By all means, contact the Delta OIT department for help in those areas. So another thing that has been occurring again and again is I'm getting emails on the weekends. Folks, please try and remember, I do not answer emails. I don't respond emails on the weekends. I'm gone. I'm usually out of town. I'm nowhere near a computer. While I do have my phone, and yes, I get email on my phone, I try not to look at it because weekends are for my family. They're for me. So if you email me on a Friday after 5 p.m. or on a Saturday or on a Sunday, you're not going to hear back from me until the following Monday, perhaps even the following Tuesday. So please understand, it's not that I don't love you. It's not that not that I'm ignoring you. I do not respond to emails from anybody on the weekends, period. After 5 p.m. on Friday, I'm out of here. So, obviously, if it's an emergency, I will try to get to as quickly as possible. But, the emergencies that I have in our class are not really that dire that you really need to get in touch with me immediately. But while we're on the subject of communication to me, folks, I have warned everyone across the board, don't wait until the last minute. If you wait until, it's so easy to do on an online course. It's so easy. You don't have a professor standing in front of you going, let's do, and I could do that. I guess I could send everybody video messages where I'm pointing my finger, it's due. I don't want to do that. That's why we have the online courses. So please, don't wait until the last minute. Learn how to budget your time. And it's excruciatingly hard. Believe me, I am the #1 procrastinator in the world. Okay, I love to put things off until the last minute, but this is something that you simply can't. So please, for my sake, don't wait. Don't wait until a Sunday, which will be the day after an assignment is due, to ask me for more time. That's not the time to ask me for more time. Look ahead. If you see you're not going to be able to turn something in, you need to be at least 3-4 days ahead of the due date. And then say, Dr. H, I'm not going to be able to put this in. And that's another thing. It's Dr. H. It's not Tim. It's not Mr. It's Dr. H. Please try to remember these things, okay? Okay, History Rock and Roll peeps. So we have a midterm that's going to be coming up before you know it. You're going to turn around and it's going to be here. And guess what? You're not going to be ready. So please take some time. Do the assignments, do the work, do them ahead of time as much as you can. Get in there, work on them. But think about this, that midterm is coming due that first week of November, and you're only going to have 6 days to complete it. Well, 7 days with the Sunday. So please take the time. Don't wait. Please don't wait until Saturday, November, whatever that is, 7th or whatever it is, 4th. I think I can't remember now. My brain is turning to oatmeal. Don't wait till the 11th hour. Don't wait until 11:50. If you wait until 11:50 p.m. to submit your midterm, you're crazy. You're crazy. Please don't wait. Do it early so that you have some time to make corrections if you need to double check with things. Also, I would encourage you to understand about the written assignments, okay? When I talk about when your book asks you to submit these written assignments based upon things that you have listened to, right? Based upon examples that you have listened to. They're not, they do have specifics that they want you to touch on, yes. But I'm not going to sit there and I'm not going to grade you on comma placement. I'm not going to grade you on sentence structure. Okay? No. I want to know what you think. I want to know how you react. That's what I care about. Remember, I'm a musician. I make my living as a musician. I've been a professional musician now for longer than I care to tell. So it's important to me, for you, to tell me what your reactions are based upon your own interpretations. Again, not what you think I want to hear, but what do you think? What do you think about what's going on? What do you think about what your text saying? Don't just assume that because your text says it that it's right. Please have a brain, have a thought, be original. Go ahead. There's nothing wrong with saying how you feel about a specific artist or a specific point in history of especially American history of rock and roll. And you'll notice while I'm on this little subject here, this little tirade, we have a new discussion topic that talks about this, that discusses this, right? It talks about this. It says, what is it that our book isn't talking about? Why is it leaving this out? What's the big deal here? Why isn't this prominently displayed? Please take a minute. Consider that. Look at that, as well as what's on your text. And so that is a new discussion topic. We had the introductory topic, which was great. Loved reading all your introductions. Now we have moved on. There's a new forum. It's thinking outside the box. So there'll be other discussion topics where you're going to want to respond to these and respond to two of your classmates. Really easy. And it doesn't have to be these big, huge, elaborate things. It's not like writing an essay. It's just simply a paragraph or a couple of sentences. Hey, this is what's going on, or this is what I think. And then maybe a dialogue between you and me, or you and some other person in the class. So take some time with this and enjoy it. Have fun with it. I'm also going to be showing you here in a bit some things about our text, some things about e-learning that you might have missed. So hopefully that will clear up some questions for you. So I hope this works for you, and I appreciate everyone's willingness to look at this stuff. And see you soon. Hey, rock and roll peeps, Dr. H here. Just wanted to take a minute and maybe go through a few things about our e-learning site. So here you see our homepage on e-learning, and you see these news items. There's going to be a new news item shortly discussing our new discussion topic. But I wanted you to be aware of a couple of things. First and foremost, take a look. You've got a calendar here. And this calendar does talk about when things are due. And you'll notice that section 2 is becoming due on October 24th. So do take advantage of this, because this does let you know when things are due. And due date means due. It's done. So at 11:59 p.m., that's done. After that, you cannot turn this assignment in. And of course, by assignment, I mean all of the materials that will be encompassed in section 2. If you want to know specifics about a particular section, you can go to our content tab. When you go to the content tab, you're going to see over here on the left, you're going to see the course syllabus. You're going to see section 1, section 2. Section 1 is already done. But in section 2, if you click on it, this comes up, and it has a description of what's going on in section 2. So not everything, obviously, but it does give you a good idea of what it is you're going to be dealing with. And then, excuse me, then we also have the activities tab. So if you go up here to the activities tab and you click on discussions, then you see we have a new discussion topic. This forum, called Thinking Outside the Box for a Bit, is the title of the forum that these discussion topics are going to be found in. And it's just simply allowing us the opportunity to not have to conform to any specific textual ideas such as what we find in our textbook, but more of what do we think, how do we feel, ideas and thoughts and opinions. So the first one is this, what our textbook doesn't say. And remember that before you can post, before you can respond, you have to subscribe. So you subscribe to the topic. If you want to include my summary of activity, that's the best way to go about it. Then I can see what you're doing. And once you have subscribed, you have the ability to start a new thread. Now, there is no thread in here yet, but when you click on the title of the topic, you have the ability to start a new thread. So just letting you know that those are some things that you can do on your own without having to contact me. You can do this on your own, and it'll be a discussion topic, much like our introductions discussion topic was. So I hope that clarifies a little bit about what's going on. You can always look at the course homepage. You can always look at this calendar to see when things are due. And let's go now to our online text. And when you get to the home page of the online text, which again, remember I said there were two sides to this story. There's the e-learning side and the Connect for Education side. Well, this is the Connect for Education side. You can see all of the classes listed here, the written assignments that are listed here, and each section has a written assignment. We are now going to be on written assignment 2. But when you click on each of these, for example, this section starts with Rockabilly. Everything is here, and it gives you an introduction. It gives you the opportunity to watch the introduction, to read. There are all types of tools up here that are available to you, so I encourage you to make use of those tools. Also, take a look at these orange circles with arrows in them. These get you quickly from one page to another, but you must scroll down to see everything, okay? You cannot just hover on this one area, and if you're using a cell phone, you may miss something. If all you're looking at is this, this screen right here, you may not see these arrows on your cell phone. So be sure to discover everything. Look at all of the page. Look at everything that's there. Don't just look at one area of the text. And then you have assignments that are associated with each of these sections, and there are so many classes per section. So take a look at those and understand what it is that you're being asked to do, and those written assignments. And the only way you're going to get to those written assignments is by reading through all of the materials that come before. So you see, we just covered, I don't know how many pages of Rockabilly. So if we were to go back and look through this, we see, certain artists that are involved, for example, in Rockabilly. And when you go back further, I didn't mean to go back quite that far, and you look at the home page of our course, which should come up here momentarily as soon as the C4E site decides to come back to life. You will see that within each of these sections, like lesson 7, for example, there's all of this that you have to cover, and then there's a quiz that comes at the end of the section. Same thing is true of section 8, lesson 9, and lesson 10, 11, 12, right on up through to the written assignment, which ends this section. Now, how can you tell what's within a section? Well, remember, there are some hints to this. Looking at the contents page, section 2 says that it goes all the way from Rockabilly to the British invasion, and then later on into psychedelic rock, Woodstock, folk rock, and other forms. So that is one clue that can help you. And again, look at the home page, and you can see where, if I bring up a specific topic, it will tell you when and where it is located. So, but essentially what happens is that the sections are all divided by those written assignments. So when you see the written assignment, that's the end of a section. Okay, and then when we slam back to this and we go to that particular written assignment, you click on that and then you see you have some things to do. It has very explicit instructions, things to listen to. And so I encourage you to, to look at this, and then here are the instructions. Click Add Submission. Well, for you, I'm going to have to change roles here to a student role so that you can see what we'll take a look at what you would see when you go down to the submission button. You see Add Submission. Well, when you click on that, here's what happens. You get to a new screen, but it has the same material. The only difference is it has a window for you to type these texts in. Now, this is also an area where you may run into trouble if all you're using is a cell phone. So please make the distinction. If you're having difficulties here, it could be because you're using a cell phone and not using a regular computer or laptop. I think even an iPad might be difficult, but if it works for you, fine. And again, if it is working for you, no reason to change. But if you are having difficulties, that could be the reason. And you can also create a file in Word or some other word processing software and drop it here if you want. In fact, I recommend that you do that. But honestly, if you want to do it just here using this text window here, that's perfectly fine with me. Remember, I am not grading you on punctuation or sentence structure or things like that. It's history of rock, for heaven's sakes. So take your time, do a thorough job, but don't worry about things like that. For me, it's not necessary. I'm going to be looking for content, and I'm certainly going to be looking for your participation. If I can see that you have read the material, you've listened to the examples, and you are speaking intelligently about that, I don't care what kind of grammar you use as long as you get your point across. However, if all you're doing is bullshitting me, I will know, and you're not going to get a good grade. So please take the time to do these written assignments. And while we're on the subject of written assignments, I have not completed all the grades for the first submission. They will be done soon, I do promise you. I'm in the middle of midterms with the other two classes right now, so it's been a little bit of a difficult time. Okay, so I hope this clarifies a little bit about these two sides to the story, the C4E and the e-learning side. As always, if you have difficulties, send me an email, but remember, I do not respond to emails on the weekends. Okay, thanks folks, and again, great job everybody. Keep plugging along, stay safe, all that stuff. See ya.
I'm a sentimental sap, that's all. What's the use of trying not to fall? I have no will, you've made your kill, 'cause you took advantage of me.